Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So welcome back to another planner video. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys my full review of my Louis Vuitton MM or medium ring agenda cover. I've had this for over a year now, so I am excited to share with you guys what I think of it and wear and tear. I'm also going to share with you guys my cloth and paper haul for this planner, a couple things I picked up from both Amazon and Target as well, and share with you my 2024 minimalist setup. So if those kind of things sound interesting, definitely stay tuned. If you are new here, thanks so much for checking this out. I'm a full-time working mom, but in my spare time, I love making these videos on fashion, beauty, mommy lifestyle, a little bit of luxury, and reselling as well. So if those kind of things sound interesting, definitely check out my other videos, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you are returning, thank you so much for watching another video. Alright guys, so as I've said in my last GM agenda video, which I will link below in case you're curious, these planner videos are kind of turning into an annual tradition for me, and I love putting them together because it gives me a moment to really take a look at my planner, see how they're wearing, and then more importantly, I just love sharing my setups. I love watching planner videos because I get so many awesome ideas from watching all of your videos and things that you like and things you comment about, that I just love putting these together because I enjoy interacting with you all. So this video, I'm going to talk about my MM or medium ring agenda. So if you watch my channel, you will know that I picked this up a little over a year ago. And the whole reason I wanted this size is because I've had the GM or large ring agenda for several years. And I tried taking that every day to work and kind of taking it around with me because honestly, my life is in these planners. But that got so heavy. That thing is huge. You'll see in that video. I like to chock it full. I like to have all of my weekly inserts for the entire year in there. I don't like taking things out month by month. So I just leave everything in there for the whole year. So it's so heavy that I just couldn't carry it around with me that I decided to try out the smaller size. And the intention was to do this as an everyday carry agenda. So I have used this thing every single day, taken it to work with me every single day since I got it for a year. So hopefully this is helpful in terms of sharing with you my thoughts and wear and tear. So in terms of this agenda, I will just share with you that I did pick this up in the boutique. I went into my local boutique. They actually had it in stock. So that's actually where I got this one. I don't tend to like to buy agendas on the pre-loved market. I buy other bags on the pre-loved market, as you've seen on this channel. But for agendas, when I look at the pre-loved market, I think that the wear is just so much that for me, it's not really worth it. That being said, the price increases have been really crazy recently at all these luxury houses. So maybe one day it actually will really be worth it to buy it pre-loved. But for now, I just tend to buy these new because I just don't like the amount of wear that I see. So in terms of specs of this agenda, again, it's the medium 6-ring agenda cover, or the MM size people refer it to as. And in terms of sizing, it measures 5.5 by 7.1 inches. So 5.5 in this direction, 7.1 inches in this direction. And it has several different options in terms of what type of material and color scheme you can get for this agenda. So it does come in the classic monogram canvas. It comes in the Damier Ebene, as this one is. It comes in Damier Graphite, and I believe this is the only size agenda that the graphite comes in case you're curious. If you want a leather option, it comes in epi leather and taiga leather as well. So for this one, I decided to go with the Ebene for a couple of reasons. The first is that my GM agenda, as you've probably seen, is in the monogram, and that was my first agenda, so I love it. But I wanted something a little different. I went with the Ebene because, again, this is, I believe, the original Louis Vuitton canvas print, but also it's more understated. So again, my intention for this was to take it every day to work. So if I'm going to carry this around the workplace, I don't want something that has the monogram on it necessarily. Granted, most people do recognize this these days as Louis Vuitton. It even says Louis Vuitton here in one of the boxes, but honestly, I think it's more understated than the monogram. So for those two reasons, I decided to go with this one. So in terms of the layout, it's similar to the GM. So this does also have the snap button closure, as you can see, and mine has actually surprisingly not much wear, even though I use it every day to work. You can see there aren't many scratches. The canvas looks pristine, like I always talk about. This holds up super well. I don't really see any major issues with it. And then also the glazing is what I often worry about with these heavily used pieces, but the glazing actually, if you can see, it looks pretty good too. So I haven't had any major issues. Occasionally I get worried about the glazing, but I know that this is something to be used, and I will just go ahead and use it. Don't worry too much about it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. And here's what the layout looks like. And this is where it differs a little from the GM. It's just slightly different. So here, you do have this card pocket here. It has Louis Vuitton, made in France, and I did get it hot stamped with my initials. This was done again in my local boutique, and I don't honestly love the hot stamping quality. I don't think they did a really great job, honestly. My GM one, which I purchased online, looks a lot sharper and nicer, but you know, I'm just rolling with it. But I did it hot stamp, but I love hot stamping these SLGs. I don't tend to resell my luxury items, so I like hot stamping them and personalizing them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 card slots here, which I don't use too often, but you definitely could turn this to like mini wallet or something if you'd like. And then it just has one slip pocket in the back. So the layout here is definitely different from the GM agenda, but also equally functional. It has a little slot here for a pen, which I tend to use in this agenda as well. And then as you will see, the rings here. So these rings actually look pretty good. One of my biggest concerns, as I talked about in my GM one, is that the rings, especially the outer rings here, don't close all the way. Even when I first purchased this new, it still was the same way. So let me see if I can show you guys what I mean. I don't know if you can tell, but even if I'm not touching the rings, there's a little opening there. So it doesn't fully close flush, and that bothers me a little. It's mostly noticeable on the GM rings because they're larger, but on this one, I mean, you can see that probably, it doesn't close all the way. So as you all kindly remind me, I definitely only should be opening the rings using these little tabs. I should not be just pulling the rings apart, and I haven't been. I've really just been using these tabs, but it still doesn't go all the way flush. It doesn't get papers caught. It doesn't really bother me anymore. I think it's just how it is, but it is kind of funny how it doesn't really close all the way. I think part of it is that when you do open the rings with the little tab, as you can see, the ones on the ends pull more than the middle ones, and I think that's probably just physics. So that's why I think the end rings don't close flush all the way naturally. But that's the only thing about these agendas that I would say is notable. Other than that, this one doesn't really show the imprints too much for the rings like my GM does, but you can see a little bit of the ring imprint. But I mean, that's all I got for wear. It's really not bad at all. And again, I do really use this day to day. So it's been a really great work companion for me. Let me take a few minutes just to show you guys what I picked out from Cloth and Paper, and then I will put everything together. All right, so as I talked about in my GM video, I love shopping from Cloth and Paper, especially on Black Friday. I often get freebies, and they even have a site-wide sale. So I tend to buy everything on Black Friday. It comes in this really nice little pouch. I showed you in my GM review video that I just posted, and I will link below the freebie item I got on Black Friday, so I won't go through that just to not repeat myself. But I have a few things here to share with you guys. And let's see here. Let me get my little receipt. So I did show this before, but look at how cute this little receipt holder is. I will definitely repurpose that, but let me pull this out so I can share with you guys the names of some of these items. Okay, so first off, I decided to treat myself to a little pen. This is the Uniball 1 FG gel pen, and it's the 0.38 millimeter. It's in the color pink. I mean, I love pink. I love this kind of muted pink. And let's see, let me grab a piece of paper and see how it writes. I think it's supposed to be black ink. It's Uniball 1. And let's check. Here's a little piece of paper from my last agenda. Oh, it has a little blue cover on the tip. I think you're supposed to remove. Yep. And then let's see how it writes. Ooh, super smooth. Look at how fine that is. So this is really, really nice, because I love a little fine tip. This is super fine. So yeah, first impressions of this are great. So I decided to treat myself to this little pen. It wasn't very expensive, but I just love the look of it. I love the color. I love fine tip black pens. So I will try it out and let you know what I think. And then next up here, we have the actual agenda inserts. So I get the dated monthly for the size Sunday start. My week start on Sunday in my mind, so that's what I go for. And if you're looking for this medium ring or agenda, you need to get the personal size inserts. So that's what I got for everything here. So that's that set. And then I got a couple of things of note. So because I take this to work, I tend to write a lot of notes in here. So I got extra note paper. I just like the plain line note paper. I've tried different versions I've talked about. You'll see a couple of other options in my actual planner setup in a few minutes. But I just love the basic plain notes. So that's what I got here. I did pick up a couple of these extra folders, which I didn't really have for this agenda. So I'm excited to try these out. These feel like really good quality. And I think that's all I got from Cloth and Paper, but then what I got was a couple things from Amazon, and I got the same pack up for my GM that I showed you guys, so I won't go into all the details, but they make it in the MM size, so I will put that into my planner as well. It includes the page lifter, the Today ruler, you know, all that kind of stuff. And look at this little cute thing I found at Target. I mean, the main thing is, sorry, it's a little dirty for some reason, but the main thing is that you can get a lot of these little planner accessories at Target, other places that are pretty inexpensive and really fun too, to kind of jazz things up. So I found this, and it has just a little section for notes, so I will use this just for jot notes, and you can stick it in your planner. But then it has just fun, you know, sticky notes. I love these sticky note packs because they're really inexpensive, and they just kind of liven things up and just make it fun as you plan your day. So I got this from Target that I'm going to be using along with this planner. All right, guys, so that's what I have to put in here. I'm going to go ahead and insert everything and then show you guys what my setup looks like. All right, guys, I'm back. So that took a hot minute for me to do this because my planner is pretty chock full, as you can see, but I have a lot of fun goodies in here that I want to share with you guys. I'm pretty much of a minimalist though, so it's not super entertaining, but I really like a clean aesthetic type of planner. So let me start off by just showing you what's not in my planner. So I did take this out. So I had this from Cloth and Paper from I think last year. It's just a top loading little pocket that I liked. Because I got some of the newer, harder plastic ones this year from Cloth and Paper, I decided to take this one out. I literally never used this. It's dirty, even as you can see. I just carried it around and never used it. So I decided just to take that out this year. And then from the Amazon pack up, I did not include these two items because I don't really need them. I have one of these little card holders already in there from Cloth and Paper that's pretty good quality. This one actually rivals that, I will say. The quality is pretty decent from Amazon, but I just don't need two card holders, so I just took this out. And then here's one of the page lifters. This is meant to be for the front of the planner, which I never really need for the front. I just need this for the back, as you'll see in a few minutes, so I didn't use this one. I did use this little Cloth and Paper folder that I got, but it came in a pack of 6. I mean, I don't know why somebody needs 6, but I just need 1, so I put 1 in there. I don't like to bulk on my planner too much, so I didn't want to add extras unless I really need them. These are the 2 note paper pack-ups that I will definitely go through this year, but I didn't put in because I have some from last year that I want to use at first, but this is going to be my backup. And then, of course, I have my Target notes, which I didn't put in there. All right, so I'm going to clear up all of this stuff so I can share with you my planner setup. Before I get into actual planner, I do want to share this beautiful little piece that you might have seen in one of my Hermes unboxings, or we'll see this soon, I will say. But I recently picked up this little Hermes Ulysses notebook. It's in the PM size, and just for size comparison, it's a little smaller than the Louis Vuitton, as you can probably see in case you're curious, but they're pretty similar in size. So I just think this is a really good pairing. So what I do is I carry both of these to work. Why I need both is this one is strictly for notes, but I really like it because, as you can see, it's a lot more streamlined than my Louis Vuitton agenda, or a lot thinner, because it's just note paper. So what I do is I take both of these to work. I tend to take this if I have a big meeting, I need to have my agenda with me, my planner, all that kind of stuff in terms of scheduling stuff. But if it's just, you know, I'm in the hospital or my clinic, I just need a couple of notes for my Zoom meetings that day, but I'm also pretty active around the hospital or clinics, I just throw this in my coat pocket. So I wear a white coat when I'm in those settings, and I just easily slip this into my coat pocket. It's held up really well. I will do a review on this later. But that's what I do in terms of note taking. So I don't want to bulk up too much in terms of notes, but I do like this for the meetings and the notes that I have when I actually need to plan as well. So I use both of these at work, and it's worked out really well this past year. All right, guys. So here is the setup. I'm going to open it up. And here is the front of my planner. It's similar to last year, but I just love how this is. I don't really use this for cards, but I may. Now that I'm carrying this around more, I may use this for some more regular cards, but I just have these little journaling cards and a little fun card there that I had from last year. And here's my initials. the start of my planner here is really cute inbox insert that I got from Cloth and Paper last year. I really like the material of this. I have my little coffee sticker. I love looking at that. My little clip from Cloth and Paper. And this I picked up from an Etsy shop, which I will try to link down below, but it's a Louis Vuitton inspired little clip, which I thought was really, really cute. And I used to use it as a bookmark for the page I was on, but now I have my Amazon bookmark. So I just put this here for now. I have a set of little sticky notes here that I use just to jot things down. That's my starting page. And then I have my planner belongs to page, which I will fill this in after this video. I always find a fun sticker to put here as well. All right, so this is the first insert. This is the one in the Amazon pack up. So really inexpensive, but it's one of these little slide pockets. So I think I can put a couple of pens maybe if they're thin, or little stickers or things that can easily fall or get lost in the planner. I think I'll just put in this little Ziploc type of a thing. And then the other new piece here, this is my new Cloth and Paper slip folder. So I really love the quality of this. It's very thick. I'm definitely going to use this. I put little notes and I can just drop things in. This is great for receipts just to put in there until you file them. So I'm excited to have this little pocket to use this year. I have the little slip card slot section here, which again, I have some rewards types of cards, one of our favorite places to eat in Hawaii, FYI. Some page flags if I want to use those, and then just some inspirational cards. You can use this for credit cards, debit cards if you want as well, but I don't tend to do that. Really good for gift cards too. And then I get into my schedule. So for my again, I carry this around every day. I use it for not just schedule or planning, but also for notes, for things like that at work. So I picked this index from Cloth and Paper. I don't know if you can see that very well. Sorry about that. But it says schedule in black font, notes and lists, and finances. So it's different than my GM setup, whereas you probably have seen, I like to use that as more of a calendar heavy type of agenda where I have the full index from January to December in there, including a weekly vertical spread. So for this one, I don't need all that because that's what my GM does. So this one is really just to have my highlights of my day. So I like to use the monthly spreads for my So here's the Cloth and Paper first graphic. As I talked about in my GM video, I'm a little bummed that this year they don't include as many graphic pages because I just love the black, white, and gray aesthetic, but this is really the only graphic of the chair they have this year. It has a year at a glance on this layout. And then there's, let's see, observances and holidays, some extra note paper, and then they have these quotes as monthly breaks. Some more note paper, and then here is the dashboard for January. As you probably can see, it's pretty similar to last year. It has a section for goals, important dates, bills due, and here's where I put things that I need reimbursed for, a little checklist. So I definitely heavily use this on a day-to-day planner because when I'm at work, I have things I have to do. I just make a checklist. I love lists, so I like to use these areas for checklists, and I use these notes sections for extra notes for that month. And then the monthly spread, similar to the monthly spread in my GM, I love this year because it's just larger boxes, especially for this mid or medium ring agenda. This is essential because last year they had a whole section here of just extra notes and checklists. So it meant that the individual days of the month were a lot smaller. And on the I only have the monthly spreads. So I jot down my key personal events every single day in here that I need to refer to. So I need a little bigger space or box per day. So I love, love, love how everything is enlarged this year. They also do have a little area for notes if you'd like. And then it has the little month at a glance here. This is my little addition from Amazon as well this year. It's the little today marker with a ruler. And I love how it's just one of those pull-out ones where you can easily change it from month to month with no problem, and you don't have to open the rings. There's more note paper. And then the page breaks again are just these quotes. So I would love if they made graphics instead of quotes. So if you are listening, Cloth and Paper, for next year, please consider doing more graphics. I just love the graphics. All right, and then it goes to February and month by month. So I just love the monthly spread. How I use them, as I mentioned, is I just put down my personal events on here, my work calendar and all my Zoom meetings. It's just more convenient to just solely have that on my iPhone because all the reminders go there. So that's where I have that. But this is to for any other vacation schedules, work trips, big events, birthday parties, things like that, I put in here. So when I'm at work, I can figure out if I'm available on certain days. If someone asks, you know, can you do a meeting on this day, I can quickly check my personal calendar as well. And then at the back of this, it has some more note paper, and it has contact lists, which I never use, but is in there. All right, so for notes and lists, what I like to do here is I just keep a bunch of notes. So I have this little password insert, which I never really use, but I just threw in there. Some more contact lists. But really, since I take this to work every day, I use this pretty heavily for notes. So I use my Hermes Ulysses for heavy duty notes. But for this, if I need to take my planner, I don't want to take two binders with me everywhere. So if I know I need to look at my schedule for things during a particular meeting, I will take this one with me. And then I just use this for notes during the meeting. I love writing down notes. I don't tend to be one of those that takes her laptop everywhere. I don't know why. I just don't like doing it. It's heavy. Plus, I just love writing down things. I think you retain them a lot better. So I tend to be one of the outliers these days where in meetings, I just bring pieces of paper and a pen. I don't bring a laptop. So people think I'm weird. It's probably not the most efficient, but that's what works for me. So I'm going to stick to it. Plus I get to carry around my beautiful agenda. So I take notes here. I love this particular note paper. One of the other examples of inserts you can get from Cloth and Paper I got last year, it has this layout where there's meeting notes, it has subject, date, and time, it has priorities. It kind of breaks things down a little bit more for you to organize. But honestly, when I use this one, I realized I just write like it's regular note paper. I don't pay attention to all these extra little areas. So I tend to just prefer the classic lined notes. It's just what is easiest for me. But I have a couple extra notes there. And then the finance section, I don't tend to use too much. I don't do a lot of financial planning, honestly. I probably should, but I don't. So I don't use it a whole lot. But what I do use it for is I use it here for gift cards. So I highly recommend this, is if you have gift cards. I don't have a lot of gift cards compared to some other people. But if I get gift cards, what I like to do is I write down where it is. If it's electronic, I write down which email account it's in, which date. And then if it's a physical one, I'll write that down too. And then I just check off when I use them. Otherwise, you definitely don't use probably a good fraction of your gift cards every year. So I really try to be good about writing down which gift cards I have to use still. So on the other side here, I like to put down when my medical licenses are due, any other major events or important things I need to do, I keep here. And then toward the end of the year, I have a page here for 2025 events because again, I plan out the entire year. I keep my entire year in my planner with me at all times. I'm one of those that likes to see the entire year if I want to at a given day. But of course, as we roll into the next year, we don't have all the planner inserts yet. So I have a whole page for 2025, and then I will put down any appointments that get scheduled for the following year. That's kind of what I use here. And then the final thing here is the page lifter that I got from Amazon. I just love the idea of this. If you are pretty new to planning, like I would say I am, what a page lifter does is it helps prevent this. So this is an insert from my GM from last year without a page lifter. These are the last pages in my planner. And as you can see, it really just makes it curve or fold because it gets caught in the back of the planner. So the idea of the page lifter is this will prevent the back pages from curving like this. So if this bothers you like it bothers me, I'm hoping that this page lifter will do the trick. Again, super inexpensive on Amazon. I will link down below if I can find all of these items. All right, and then the back pocket here, I don't really know what to do with, so I just put some of these rose dot stickers I have from Cloth and Paper from last year. I don't tend to use stickers too much, but I like to have them there in case I want them. And then the final thing, which I didn't put in, is just a little bit of cash. I mean, not a lot, but I tend to keep a little bit just hidden in the back pocket there. Because I take this with me on a day-to-day basis, it's nice to stash a little bit of cash in different places, in my opinion, just because you just never know what's gonna happen if you lose your wallet and just need to get somewhere or buy something. It's nice to have it, especially because it's on me every day. I did try out my new Cloth and Paper black ink beautiful pink pen, and it does fit. It's a little snug, but it does fit. But I like how it's snug because prior to this, I used a thinner pen and it actually slipped out quite a bit. So I almost always lost it. In fact, when I took out the planner to do this review, I don't know where the pen is. So that just bothered me a lot. So I'm glad how this is snug. I will try it out and let you know what I think of it. But there you have it. This is my minimalist planner setup that I use on a day-to-day basis at work. And I carry around with me. Here's what it looks like with the pen sticking out, and that's how it looks like filled. All right, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I'm setting up my planner this year. So of course, as the year goes on, things change little by little. I add things in if I want to. I take things out that aren't working for me. So we'll see how it goes during the year. But for now, at least, I'm really happy about this, and I'm happy to start getting into this and using it. The new year just brings so much hope, promise, and motivation. So it's really fun to kind of get into a new planner. Granted, it's really late in the year to start doing this, but I am still excited to finally get into this. If you like planning like I do these days, definitely comment below. What are some items that really work for you? What do you think about your Louis Vuitton agendas if you have them as well? I'm always curious to hear your thoughts and tips and tricks. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope 2024 has started off really great for you, and the remainder of the year is prosperous and you're happy and healthy as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now.